W7MS, and you success. Well, it is now.
Well, you know, I could hear an intermittent carrier come up and down, and I knew it was Mr. De Silva tuning up his rig. Good morning.
Yeah, I actually just keyed up about a second before I heard you. So yeah, heard the other guy sign. So now. Let's see. I've got light copy on you, but I'm not sure. I don't think conditions are going to be that great this morning. At least not from here. I'm looking at the SDR and KPH, and I don't see. I see signals down at least 10 dB from what they normally are, but what the hell? The noise is down too. W7MS, NU6F.
Well, let's hope that this doesn't foretell indicate negatively on my signal level. I'm running the TA12 at about 60 watts. I figured 'tis the season to run relative QRP, but maybe not this morning. And I agree with you. I got up at 2 a.m. in a failed attempt to check in an East North military net. Signal-noise ratio was rather dismal. Not a surprise, but fortunately, I think it was a 30-minute sleep interruption before I made the decision to turn things off and go back to sleep. But we'll just have to see. But you're sounding good. And I would assume your new antenna support survived the latest wind gusts yesterday, and life is good, W7MS.
W7MS, NU6F. Okay, on yesterday's military net. Okay, let me take a look here at the, I haven't fired up the T3 for a while, so I almost had to retrain myself last night. And I realized I changed the 28 volt supply. I used to have the Arc 5 supply in the base of the desk here, and it always came on, and the 24 volts from that is what powered up my TR relay and antenna switch and muting, and yeah, I couldn't scratch my head. What's going on? And well, now that 28 volts is now off the big Lambda 28 volt supply. So, well, yeah, I did see that I may want to change my guy to a different direction, but no, it looks like it held up. It was inexpensive and not super inexpensive. I figured, well, let's just give it a try and see. If I get any complaints from the HOA or whatever, well, no big deal. Take it down. But yeah, it is nice to have not have that hanging up next to fight in the tree every time I want to move things. So yeah, it's easy to raise and lower. All right, I'm sure there's somebody else around. NU6F, standing by.
And the muscle memory aspect turns out mental memory. That's why I pre-tuned the DA12 last night, because I was fiddling around. Well, what the heck's going on? Then I realized, I'm trying to tune channel 1, but the channel selector says channel 3. So, shucks, it's only been a year.
Yeah, and amongst other stuff, I just got to have another project now. the ART-13. You know, it's been a while since I fired that up, a couple of months. I'm going to fire that up. So I did last night, and I fired it up, and weird tuning in a different spot for the delay. All right. And then, all of a sudden, I didn't see anything. Heard all the clicks and whatnot, but looks like no beat. So I'll have to dig into the power supply and ignore the radio. So sidetracked from 640 meters and U6F.
Well, of course the warranty's been up for several years now, but I think it actually expired the minute we loaded it up in the back of your car, but well, I'm sure it's a simple fix, but certainly an unexpected problem. But inside your side of the demarcation line, probably, so that's, you can only blame yourself.
Okay, well, yeah, you know, so far the only real failure in this was the plate cap, the plate coupling cap, and it went, it self-destroyed itself pretty aggressively. But no, this was a silent, sneaky death. Keyed it up, power was there, but a little bit low. Okay, retune, and then unkeyed, took a look at my settings, keyed it again, and yeah, heard kerclunk, but no movement. Alright, we'll wait for the rest of the game, and a squirrel report, maybe from Vern. NU6F, standing by.
Well, okay, Ron. It offload, but yeah, I reckon we'll get a bed bug update also from Vern. That's been a recent topic, and I'm still offended by you considering the 64 quad digital microwave radios as not nostalgic. I thought that when I discovered that Sprint had actually purchased ATT Western Electric DR 130 digital radios, I was extremely impressed. But the digital radio meant it would it looked awfully nice color coordinated equipment. W7MS. I'm gonna go get a glass of water. That's gonna be my escape route.
W4 DDQ.
Oh, that's right. It's Carla morning. Look out for that frying pan. All right. I'll be expecting a Charlie report also. Good morning, Carla. And Chuck somewhere. Quick Chuck in the kitchen.
NU6F, W4 DDQ. Yeah, I got Chuck in there with an apron on, fixing bait. It's his turn. But yeah, I'm just wanting to see if I'm getting out there okay. I got Mike in the number 1 spot so far, and I got you, Ron, in the number 2 spot so far. And just seeing if there's any other buddies. That didn't make sense. More coffee. Is there anybody else out there would like to be an early check-in? Please come now.
WA7 YBS.
Oh, good morning, Henry. I got you in the number 3 spot. Is there anybody else out there who'd like to be an early check-in? Please come now.
W7 MK8. DWC.
Okay, I got Chuck away from the frying pan. K0DWC, I got you in the number 4 spot. Is there anybody else out there who'd like to be an early check-in? Please come now.
Kilo Echo 6, Quebec, Kilo.
Good morning, Rich. I got you in the number 5 spot, sir. So, hang in there, guys. Almost. Is there anybody else out there would like to be an early check-in and be number 6? Please come now.
W7 MK8.
Good morning to you, Robert. Nice to hear your voice. Hang in there, and let me see you make another call out for number 7. You want to check in early, please come now. Okay, nothing's heard. Maybe Mike's back from a glass of water. It's not so early for water. But anyhow, he's changed his diet. Let's go ahead and get this net going. Maybe other people are waking up. Vern's trying to get to the radio, maybe. So, good morning, QST. This is the Vintage Military Radio Net. This is W4DBQ. My name is Carla. My QTH is Dayton, Nevada, and I will be your net control this morning. We will be operating on 3974 KC. The Vintage Military Radio Net is a roundtable AM net that provides an opportunity for hams to operate their vintage military radio gear on the air. Military gear is encouraged, but certainly not required. Just check in with what you got. You're more than welcome. Check-ins will be given a number that can be used in the handoff. I will call for check-ins at the end of each round table session. If anybody has anything for sale or want before Santa Claus comes, please mention it during your turn on the round table session. So with that, so far, I have W7 Mexico Sierra. That didn't make sense. Mike. And number 2 spot is NU6F Run. Number 3 spot is WA7 YBS Henry. Number 4 spot is K0 DWC. And number 5 is KE6QK Rich. And the number 6 spot is W7MK Robert. So let me make a call out. See if anybody wants to join us on the first go around and be number 7. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So if anybody hears anything and I didn't catch it, please let me know. I am on the ART-13 with the ARR-7 this morning receiver, so, and the D104 microphone. Maybe I should drink water instead of coffee. But anyhow, with that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Mike, W7 MS, to take it. This is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec.
Well, thank you, Carla, W4DBQ and the Nevada Military Net, W7MS, Mike and Reno. Good morning to you, of course, and that was just a silly excuse. If you listen to the 40-meter swap net, that usually means that somebody's headed off to the boys' room. So that's just a polite way to so I didn't go for a drink of water, Carla, just a clarification, but I am really confused, that's for sure. Good morning, Chuck, Rich, Robert, Henry, and Ron, of course. And equipment rundown, as I'd mentioned earlier, running the Bendix TA-12G, listening on the Bendix RA-1B receiver, and the microphone is a amplified D104, the usual go-to microphone, and about 60 watts out, 1625s by a pair of 1625s, so that's the setup. And of course the RA-1 receiver is that urban legend device that I mentioned in the past, that theoretically one of these was installed in a certain lady's Lockheed Electra back in Southern California when it was being rebuilt from her attempted takeoff in Hawaii on the first attempt to cross the Pacific, when she didn't get off the ground but piled the Lockheed up. But urban legend says that it was removed to save weight. Later on delivery, but that's only an urban legend. And of course the TA-12 Bendix radios, which were, Bendix scored a great contract in the late 1939-1940 era on Lend-Lease equipment to Great Britain. And most of the Bendix stuff ended up as Lend-Lease equipment. And of course all carries the Pair-Ministry stamp. And I guess original contract was for B-25s, otherwise known as a Hudson, in the UK. And sad story in that contract was also 25 deliveries to Poland and France, but upon completion of the aircraft, Poland didn't exist, and France was divided between the Nazis and the collaborator in southern France. So that's those deliveries also ended up in the British Commonwealth. So enough blither blather. Hey Ron, are you still awake? NU6F W7MS.
Okay, let's see if I got it. Yeah, well, signals are picking up pretty good now. Like I said, last night I looked and I was seeing things 10 dB down from normal, but yeah, they're picking up. All right, well, good deal, guys. And yeah, Mike, is Bob Noonan looking down at you somewhere saying, "Show off"? I could have found Howland Island if I didn't have to listen to Pilot whining about stuff. Oh well, we'll never know the rest of the story. But anyhow, good save on those radios, and keeping some 1625s alive. You know, I thought I had tons of those. I was looking for swapping one out on one of the Arc 5s, and I dug around and I said, gee, I only got two 1625s. I don't know what happened to them all. All right, so I'm going to be in the market for more. Anyhow, Ron NU6F, Lemon Valley, just hoot and a holler in a stone's throw from Mike down at Golden Valley. And this morning, dusted off the T368, running 250 watts carrier and using the D104 mic. Listening on Stuart Warner 1959 contract R390. If you want serial numbers, okay, we'll save that for later. All right, good hearing the whole gang in there, and hopefully conditions will stay with us. Take it away, Henry, WA7YBS, NU6F.
Okay, Ron, NU6F, WA7YBS. Good morning to all. And signals are pretty good. So, a little bit of, I don't know, static crashes, lightning crashes or something off in the distance I can hear. But at any rate, we're on another Bendix there. Mike running the Bendix TA-12, I'm running the Bendix ATD, big 40 watts of carrier, carbon microphone, dynamotor powered, and of course the dynamotor is powered up by 3 Lambda Series 28 volt supplies, not series, parallel. It gives me 80 amps to run the dynamotor, so that's the transmitter into things. At 814 in the PA, modulated by 6L6G. And the antenna is a collinear array. And the receiver is an ANG-RR2, which is just a military designation for the SX-28A. And the ANG-RR2s were the first SX-28As built. They have the earliest serial numbers, and the helicopters built about 300 of them, and that was it. I've been collecting numbers on them for quite a long time, and it appears that they just didn't make very many of them, so about 300, like total production on the ANR2's heavy-duty SX28A. And, it's got different things in it, makes it a little more robust, but not all that robust. Anyway, that's the equipment rundown here. It was 40 degrees this morning, so pretty warm, cloudy, and windy, and all of that sort of stuff. Over to Chuck, K0DWCWA7 YBS.
Okay, WA7YBS, excuse me, K0DWC. Well, good morning, Henry. And good morning to all, Mike, Ron, Rich, and Robert. Good signals. I concur with Ron. Now, the signals have picked up quite a bit. Henry, you're sounding real military, real carbonish with the ATD. And good to have that ANGRR2 back in the lineup for a while. That's good. That's a great receiver. And I'm on the same setup as Carla ART13 with the ARR7, and the ARR7, R45 ARR7 is the aviation equivalent to the SX28. But I like that little receiver. Anyway. So far, everybody's coming in good, and we've heard everybody, and we're running about 250 watts, plus or minus a few watts here or there. But anyway, we'll keep it moving, and we'll send it over to Fallon. It's KE6QK, Rich. So, Rich, take her away. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Chuck. K0DWC on the net. This is KE6QK Fallon. Good morning to all. Some static crashes. Carla, when she started, was a +10, but I know where she is, and that signal is coming up to a 15 when the old man's on. Mike, as usual, +20. Ron, +20. Henry, +15. Squirting up to 20 sometimes. And we're running the same lineup here. The DX100B on the NSED long wire, half-wave. The IC7300 is being used on a dipole for reception. The Collins receiver will be in work here. The microphone is a Shure controlled magnetic called the Bullet, the green Bullet. My son's visiting. He said, "Dad, that's a harmonica mic." I said, "Okay." And they still make them. Couldn't believe that. I have all the caps in for the 32S1, but with the holidays and the son visiting, I haven't been doing any radio or electronics. But we're spooling up for that project very soon. And, signals are...
Take it, W4DDQ here.
W4DDQ, the group W7MKA, not very good copy on the reach. And the band's really come to life here in the last little bit. We've been getting some, I don't know if it's a harmonic of the broadcast station, but I can hear music in the background. It was on, so and it must be a morning for Bendix equipment, because we're also on a Bendix ATD Alpha Tango Delta. We're so ready to hold. If my watt meter can be believed, 60 watts or so. It's probably not true. But I'm listening on an RBM, so all that. I'll keep it moving in case others aren't hearing me well. So back up to net control, W4DBQ to take it, W7MKA.
Okay, W7MKA, this is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec. No, you're coming in good, Robert. You sound great. Pretty cool. We have two ATB radios on the air at the same time. So, let me make a call out, see if there's anybody would like to check in and get in on the tail end of the first round. Please come now. Good morning, Bill. I got you in the number 7 spot. Hang in there. Let me make one more call out. See if there's anybody who'd like to be number 8. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Go ahead and make a transmission, Bill, and then hand it back up to me, W4DBQ. Go ahead, Bill.
Good morning, man. Well, it's I don't have to that's going on. That's the story here. Everything. Probably here, so on the radio,
W4DQ. Very good, Bill. Sounds good to hear you this morning. Is there anybody else who would like to check in and get in on the tail end? Be number 8. Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. Wow. I'm just going to keep my first round short, or second round. Not a whole lot going on here. Just been working and hanging out, and so on, dealing with the critters outside. I'll take us up to say the next round. But, we're going to go ahead and do 2 rounds. Let me just holler out real quick to see if Burns out there somewhere and wants to be number 8 before I get the second round going. Please come now. Burns dreaming about sheep, so let's see. I'll just put it back up to the top, W7MS, to take it. This is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec.
Well, thank you, Carla. W4DBQ, W7MS. I think there was an attempted breaker on the sideband, but my sideband demodulator between my ears didn't catch the call sign. Yeah, Mike and Reno, good reception from all of you. Some of the crashes, as mentioned by Henry and others, but still good reception. A nice SCR buzz, which was probably somebody's mercury vapor light firing up, and that was only 15-20 seconds. And but Robert still made it through, so a good signal from the 2 ATDs. And my TA-12G, and it's a de facto Bendix team event here, operating event. So I wonder if Henry and Chuck are going to have to whip out some quickie instant print commemorative QSL cards. But everybody sounded great, and of course running the dynamotor modulator supply for the TA-12, and the RA-1B is also on dyno power, 28 volts DC. Plus or minus a few tenths, but that's the setup there. And Ron, I'll dig through my file and choose see what my inventory is on 1625. I'm holding one in my hand right now. I was going through the stash of ATAs, from the swap meet, the fall swap meet here in Reno, and done one very interesting 1625 at the intermittent shorts of the tube testers, and I took a look at the element alignment. You could have that one. It's quality control failed on this tube. It's interesting to observe its orientation inside the glass envelope. It's rather distorted and crooked, which explains the intermittent shorts of the. It shows intermittent shorts in all positions. An exciting moment, but the getter looks great. So it's gas free, but may not be arc free. That's my 1625 dissertation. But again, good signals, and hello to Bill. Great to hear Bill this morning, and Vern must be sleeping in, Carla. Over to Ron, NU6F, W7S.
Okay, let me stand by. I thought I heard somebody else break in there with a carrier too. Nope, just my imagination. And that gets more imaginative day by day. Well, anyhow, good copy on that round. QSB is pretty wild, but yeah, Robert, I was surprised you're only running 60 watts. I thought for sure you had an afterburner on that because, well, you were just a little QSB, really solid signal here into the North Valleys area. And yeah, I forgot to mention, antenna-wise, we have a change. Instead of the tree supporting one end of the inverted L/long wire, we're now on a 30-foot flagpole. So I got tired of trying to rig up more pulleys into the tree and have branches break off, and so we'll see how this goes. Part of it was with the ongoing 630-meter projects. I have yet to work anybody. I haven't got a hold of anybody to do a sked, but I just heard back from Andy, so he said that we can try to pull that off this week. So we'll see. But yeah, a lot of antenna work, and I guess the good thing is the little nano vector network analyzer and I have become much better friends. I've gotten much better at using it now, so now it's pretty intuitive. I'm getting, I don't get confusing results, but yeah, I think what I need to do for 630 meters is find some way to hide a bunch of radials. I think I got enough wire in the air and whatnot, and things tune up just fine. The BC375 thinks it's feeding a trailing wire, and that's all great, but I think I'm just lacking a decent ground. So the counterpoise is great on 80, but pretty marginal down at that frequency. But so much for that. Anyhow, with that, let's see, I got one other project. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I ordered a bunch of parts. I'm going to build a 100-watt amp for down at 630 meters, and I did order a Whisper transmitter. So that appears to be about the main thing that 630 meters is used for. Hardly any two-way contacts. Looks like it's mostly all Whisper and listening on beacons. Okay, with that, someone that doesn't need to Whisper, or, well, you can use a beacon if you want. Take it away, Henry. The other Bendix in the mix, WA7, YBS, NU6F.
Okay, Ron, NU6F, W7, YBS. All right. And, good copy on everybody. Morning, Bill. And, hey, Robert runs an ATD also. Very good. I know you mentioned you had one, but what came out of the crate has all the accessories and everything, which is nice. And so, mine had a lot of contact problems. I had to clean everything, every contact in it, in order to get it to actually work. And then I had to find a good 812, or not 812, 814. And that took a couple of times. Being El Cheapo and buying the $10 ones off of eBay, I finally figured I had to get one that was already tested by somebody that maybe knew what they were doing. And so that one was $25. So anyway, that got the transmitter actually putting out power. I could run more power than the 40 watts that I'm doing. This thing will go up to probably 60 watts pretty easy, but, I don't want to exceed the ratings too much. So anyway, we're running 40, which is kind of what it's spec'd for. And, I don't know about a QSL card for just the three of us that are running Bendix gears, but a commemorative something, we'll think of something. And so that's good. And let's see. Projects. Here, I just uploaded to the website a new article on Technical Material Corporation GPR 90s, the whole batch of them. There's quite a few variants, and if you throw in the GPR 92, that also helps. There's also a GPR 10 and a GPR 100, and I think there was a GPR 110. Those were all a little bit more modern digital readout, solid state receivers, but the main upshot of it, the article, is that the GPR 90 is kind of like it's a pretty good receiver, but you got to bear in mind that it was not an R390A. It was way down. It wasn't even an SP600, but it does perform about as good as an SP600 does. And so it's a pretty good receiver. But anyway, if you want to look at a lot of pictures and you want to see what I could find out about Technical Material Corporation, it's on the website now. And the other project is, like crystals came in for the single sideband adapter for the GPR 90R XD as an MSR6. And so all of the TMC sideband adapters are basically the same. And so this one was missing the crystals. And I found a couple on eBay that are pretty close to see if we can pull them into the frequency and actually make them work. For the 438 KC crystal, I got a 440 KC high. I might be able to pull that one down. Closest I could find for the 478 was 472 was 480. So that's 8 KC off. I don't think I'll be able to pull that one in, but I'll give it a try. So anyway, that's the projects. Over to Chuck, K0DWC, WA7, YBS.
Okay, Henry, WA7YBS, K0DWC. All right. Well, I think there's something to be said for what Mike was talking about. Three pieces of great Bendix gear on the air at the same time. There is something to be said about that, that's for sure. The TA-12 sounds fantastic, Mike, and Henry and Robert with two ATDs on playing that. That's unbelievable, just incredible. And glad I was here to see this. This is really something. We ought to maybe have a small Bendix roundup. Even if you don't have a transmitter, I mean, you can always use the receivers too. I don't have a Bendix transmitter, but I've got the receiver set up with all the control boxes, and right now it's set up to go up to 1,500 kilocycles. But I've got I've got a Bendix RA10 that I'm going to go through. It's new old stock. Still got the wood packing still in it. And I've also got another MN26 that goes up to 6 meg that I got to go through and look at. With the setup that I've got now, the only thing I would have to do would be to check out the 6 meg, one that goes up to 6 meg, and unhook the 1500 kilocycle receiver and plug that one in, and then just switch the boxes on the rack. And everything else should be the same. That all should fall into place. So that might inspire me to get on that 6 meg anyway, both ATDs sound fabulous. Mike sounds fabulous. Ron, you sound fabulous. Rich, you're coming in really good. Way over S9. And I heard Bill. Bill, no problem hearing you this time either. So other than just a tad bit of QSB here and there, conditions seem pretty good. So anyway, congratulations to all the Bendix, to all the guys running the Bendix gear, and it's a treat to hear all that on at the same time. So with that, I will send back over to Fallon, to Rich with that nice DX100D. This is sounding really good this morning. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, good morning. Well, K0DWC and the group KE6QK. Well, I don't know. In the last 45 minutes, the band has changed according to this Japanese transceiver here. Very weird. I'm not going to keep it too long. Robert didn't give me a good report. When Carla switched it over to him, he was the same way. He was less than S8 from Grants Pass. So I don't have propagation with Robert very well. But what's interesting, Bill came through a +7 to a +9, which was good from Half Moon Bay. Very interesting. And in 45 minutes, USB picked up really good. The S meter is going up and down about 10 dB on it. Very interesting. I'm not going to keep it too long. But it's good to be in here, and I enjoy listening to all your projects. Hopefully I can get into one here pretty soon. Robert, can you hear me? W7MKA and the group KE6QK. Pick it up.
All right, KE6QK.
W7MKA. And then hand it to Bill.
Receivers here just getting too much sideline or QSB, so now listening on an SR13. We've got two different generations of Navy equipment here. But okay on all the Bendix group stuff. Yeah, we got I think pretty close to 100% copy. The projects haven't been up to too much. I've recently picked up a middle OAX, the middle one in the trickle. And so it's, I've had that on the bench. It's given me more than the usual amount of trouble. Still got some bugs to work out, but hopefully it'll probably end up, maybe paired up with this transmitter. Seems like that'd be a good combination. Maybe a little better than an ARB. That's the bill, I guess. N6BCT to take it, W7MKA.
Bill, N6BCT to take it and then hand it back to me, W4DBQ. Go ahead, Bill.
Well, structural track that was put in that's still practice that's one of those. So it's Carla, I guess, it's the more. Carla, what's on the side there?
Still turns it back to you, Carla. Go ahead.
Thank you, sorry. N6 BCT, this is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor Quebec. And thank you, Henry. Let me make a call out, see if anybody wants to check in and be number 8 on this round. Please come now.
W6MQI.
Well, good morning, Dave. Hang in there. I got you in the number 8 spot. Let me see if there's somebody else out there who wants to be number 9. Please come now. Okay, Dave, W6MQI, make a transmission and then hand it back over to me, W4DVQ. Go ahead, Dave.
Good morning, W4DVQ, W6MQI. All right, good morning, everybody. Kind of a late start today. I slept in. That's a rare occasion for me. But, yeah, who all I've heard so far. MKA sounded good down here in Livermore. Henry, I heard Henry and Bill. And the other station at Fallon, I'm sorry I didn't get the call. And I heard Ron, but I stepped out, so I'm sure there's other people in there. So anyway, this is Dave in Livermore, and we're on the ART-13. So back to you, Carla. W4DVQ, W6MQI.
Okay, W6MQI, W4DVQ here. Okay, let me check one more time, guys. I know. I'm trying to get Vern up out of bed. Let's see if he's out there. Wants to check in and be number 9. Please come now. Okie dokie, nothing heard. So, on a Charlie report, I don't have too much going on with him. He's been a little stinker since it's gotten cooler. He's been running around and bucking and carrying on, all that good stuff. If you're working on your car and he's loose, he's right there with his head in the car, looking right there with you to see what's going on. So he's just a big old puppy dog. But anyhow, let's go ahead and get the next round going. This is 73 round already. Darn. All right, Mike, it's back to you. W7MS to take it. It's 73 round, guys. W4DVQ.
Well, thanks, Carla, W4DVQ, W7MS. And good morning, Dave. I'm the other person you missed there. You had everybody except me, so great to hear you this morning. Great signal from Livermore on the ART-13. Well, I'm glad to see everybody's busy. Ron is busy with his infatuation with low-frequency operation. Maybe you and Andy can pull it off. I'm glad you two got together. And Andy's been quite busy in Salinas the past month or two with some commitments. And Henry, good job on the rocks. You never know. Those crystals are, it just confounds me how the appreciation in a lot of fairly worthless crystals on eBay, since word got out to the surplus crackheads that they're now a rare item. But it's more than the holder; it's what's inside of the holder that determines its value. And great, yeah. All the comments on the Chuck on the RA-10. I'm extremely envious on that one. My ears perked up on that comment. And of course, the MN26 is. I've got my project here, And all the pieces, I guess the one accoutrement I'm missing, I've only seen one show up on eBay, and that was the crank handle for the spline lines that isn't really necessary when you've got the other crank handles to move things around. But I was surprised that one showed up sometime in the past year or two. That's probably something that generally ended up going to, it was scrapped with the airplane, or what the heck is this thing used for, and tossed in the garbage can. But other comments? Yeah, Bill, great to hear you. And Robert was still doing fine, and congratulations on the RAX2 project. And yeah, really a nice receiver, and quite convenient to use since it was designed to be a search receiver as opposed to a dedicated receiver tied to a transmitter in an airplane. It's great ones. And someday maybe I'll score one. I've got the first version of the racks, but it's only a parts unit, and that was a freebie obtained with the idea that maybe someday it may have be of use in restoring a desirable racks receiver like the middle one. It's quite useful on this frequency in 40 meters. But that's blither blather, and I think I'll just say 7 threes here, and we'll see what Ron's up to. And everybody have a great week, great Christmas, happy Hanukkah, whatever it may be. And over to you, Ron. NU6F W7MS.
Okay, I switched microphones. I'm on the D104 into the carbon mic input instead of the 600 ohm line like I normally use. So I realized, I haven't tried this for a while. I think it sounds, I think the audio sounds a little fuller here. But anyhow, well, good deal on all. Gee, I've got some Bendix envy going on here. I started looking around. The only thing that I have that is Bendix, and actually it's on right now, is one of my BC-221s. It's a Bendix 1942 contract, but yeah, that's about it. Boy, talk about, Mike, talk about muscle memory and forgetting how to operate stuff. I was scratching my head last week saying, why can't I get anything out of this? I was using it to spot the BC-475 and the 348, and yeah, I'm not kidding. I had to pull the schematic out. It took me over 20 minutes to figure out, oh, that's right, you got to have a phone jack plugged in. Okay, anyhow, so I'll remember that again until the next time I want to use it. And yeah, let's see. Now, of course, at least I tried looking up that, Robert, I tried looking up the RAX2. I tried Googling it, and I don't know half these radios, and yeah, I couldn't find it. So I'll have to do a more concerted search on that to see what it looks like. But suffice it to say, if you say it's rare. And, well, good deal. You can never have too many projects. And crystals, yeah, Mike. Who'd have thunk it? We should have invested all of our money in crystals. Would have been a lot better than where we put our money. But, yeah, I know they have we have the little hard rock, little synthesized ones and the rest, but it's just not the same as this passive piece of rock. You stick between those two plates, it vibrates at a such a frequency. I mean, how cool is that? Well, okay, gang. As Mike said, we're gonna have Christmas Eve and Christmas here before the next net. We're doing our stuff on Christmas Eve as my niece has to work on Christmas Day. So there you go. All right, gang. Thanks a bunch. And Richard, I was going to say again, glad hearing you in there, chipper, and doing pretty well. And yeah, normally this time of the year it's too cold snowy, everything else going on. You can maybe do a little outside antenna project yet while the sun's shining. All right, 73's gang, thanks Carla for running herd on the chickens. With that, take it away, Henry, WA7, YBS, NU6F.
Okay, we're on NU6F, WA7, YBS, very good. And I forgot to mention about 630 meters. Being that it was the winter solstice, normally, everything is great on medium wave and low frequency. Happens around winter solstice. That's the big time between Christmas and New Year's is the best for long wave DX. And so, a few days ago, nights ago, I was listening and picked up DDP, 391 kilocycles. That's in Puerto Rico, San Juan, Puerto Rico. That's 3,500 miles away. So DDP was pounding in here pretty good. But, they got probably a 300-foot tower and they run 2 kilowatts. So for an NDB, that's a transoceanic NDB. But anyway, it was coming in here very good. Last night I thought I would listen and, pick up some more NDBs, and nothing, absolutely nothing. But, the propagation was nil. It was nothing but noise. I could just barely hear MOTs. So you just never know. It should have been peak conditions, but this storm that's coming in, all the wind, that sort of stuff, it's really weird on medium wave, how that really affects. Just wipes it out. The weather, storm front and wind can just really wipe you out. So anyway, nothing last night, so I thought I'd pass that along. And yeah, it is too bad that you can't call CQ. When 630 meters first opened up, you could. There was a lot of CW guys on there. I heard a lot of CQs. That guy in Pennsylvania, NO3M that I talked to, I answered his CQ. And so, it was possible. But it just, those guys came and went. So now it's skids. And if you're lucky, a skid. With that, 73, everybody have a good one. Hope to hear you next week. And with that, turn it over to Chuck K0EWC WA7YBS.
Okay, Henry. All righty. Well, that ATD is sounding really good. Very military. Oh, me. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign and say my 73s. Thanks, guys, for being there. And good morning to Dave. Sorry about that, Dave. Good morning to you, sir. And good morning to Bill. I forgot to say good morning to Bill. So anyway, I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Hope everybody gets what they want for Christmas. I'm looking forward to my usual bag of coal and some sticks. So with that, I will send it over to Rich in Fallon, KE6QK in the group. This is K0DWC, and I'm signed. Go ahead and take it away, Rich.
K0DWC in the group, KE6QK. Very well. Very well. Yeah, I enjoy listening to your project. I was thinking about the 32S1 here. I have a full replacement capacity. I don't go in there. I do an audit. On this old equipment that comes in because, Sam's modify everything, and then the schematic and electrolytic was a pain. I have to, with the heat sinking on the chassis, I have to get a solder gun in there without burning anything, very carefully, and then take the paste machine and suck the solder out. And you have to do one at a time after you move all the wires around so you don't hurt anything. Merry Christmas to all. Yeah, and boy, it's good to hear everybody. I'll say give everyone the best of 73s. And, oh yeah, Dave, T13 was pushing 20 over in Fallon, Nevada. So, 73 doll. I hope Robert can still hear me. W7MKA, KC6QK. Pick it up.
All right, KE6QK in the group, W7MKA. So 738, stations in tonight. And we're pretty decent conditions this year today. They're okay on the, I think I like to, John commented 2 minute project. I don't know. We're pushing the line around here. I'm not going to if I can get my even keep my quit my job, but I even did all these things done. But it's good to have something to do. But yeah, by the one of these things we'll check in there. This WRAX. Yeah, the crystal thing. I ended up like an entire crystal set for a BC669, and I think there's a whole 2 usable crystals in there. I mean, one that falls right on 3885 and one that you decided, so I think there's a 3870. And maybe another one that you could grind up in the window, but yeah, it's a big box, but not too useful stuff. Maybe I should throw that on the eBay there, part it out. Well, Merry Christmas to all, and maybe we'll catch you next week. Over to Bill, M6BCT to take it, W7MKA.
N6 BCT to take it. This is W4D. Go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, this was just rather silly thing what happened well. And well, just what happened. Origin, I think you, I'm not sure. I don't know whether they're going to read those signs what happened the next time.
All right, N6BCT, W6MQI. Alrighty, Bill. All right, guys. 73 to everybody. Have a good Christmas. Ron, does that BC-275 work on 160 meters? Does it work on 160 meters? And I'm curious, I've been playing around with some HF amplifiers. I'm curious of what MOSFETs you're using for the final amplifier on this 630 meter amplifier you're putting together. But, oh, and good morning to Mike too, the missing man there. But yeah, conditions, amazing how fast it starts to degrade. Fallon is definitely going down into the noise. So, 73 everybody, again, good Christmas.
we'll talk to you guys later. So I think it goes back up to Carla, W4DBQ, W6MQI.
Okay, W6MQI. This is Whiskey 4, Delta Victor, Quebec. Yeah, well, the conditions are kind of like my wallet. It starts to descend a little bit. Starts to make an eyeball. But anyhow, guys, great net today. Yeah. Henry will be net control next weekend. And also, guys, possibly if we have more nice days like we've been having, I have a big wooden crate. It's huge that I have to get into. I'm going to dig out a bunch of radio stuff that I haven't seen in a couple of years. So I might be getting rid of some nationals and some odds and ends. So after Christmas, start another piggy bank. But it won't cost you much if you want something. But anyhow, okay, and I hope everybody has a safe holiday. And enjoy your family. Don't try not to eat too much, which is impossible. But just have a safe holiday and enjoy your family. So, okay, enough of that. I'm getting female-ish. So I'm going to close the net. This is W4DBQ, securing the vintage military radio net. And I would like to thank everyone for their participation and invite everyone back next Sunday morning. We are now turning the frequency over to regular extra radio use. So guys, 73, and please be careful over the holidays. Merry Christmas. 73, bye.
Well, thanks, Carla. And since it's been returned to abnormal amateur use, NU6F, W7.
Hello there, fellow Abby. Oops, throw this. Oh, I'm on the other mic. That's why I don't need to have it powered up. Anyhow, okay, well, good deal. And Abe, I was gonna chat with you on the 630 meter project also, and yeah, Mike, Bendix ready. So there you go. It was a good net, and it didn't cost us anything, except I found out my ART-13 is dead. Oh well. W6MQI and W7MS NU6F.
Okay, NU6F, W6MQI. Oh, I didn't know your ART-13 had done belly up, huh? That sucks. You're the first person I've heard ART-13 quit working. What happened?
Well, I don't know. I think it's probably the power supply, but because I remember I was surprised a couple of weeks ago when I noticed that the power supply had been on for like a month. The radio was off, but I did fire it up last night, tuned it up, and I happened to notice, that's funny, the plate tuning is not in the same place it normally was. So I retweaked, keyed, there's 100 watts, okay. Then I went ahead and unkeyed, dinked around with the receiver, switched back over to transmit, heard the kerplunk, power out. PA plate meter showed only a few milliamps. So, I don't know. It may be a low-tech problem. All right. Mike, did you have something to throw in the mix? W7MS, NU6F.
Well, nothing to throw into the mess, but just wondered if you were going to be invite myself over for lunch at the hometown today.
Yeah, in fact, I think it's a special deal this morning. Anaya wanted to get baptized, and so they're having quite a few people. So they've got a special service. We're going to be leaving early. I think it's going to be a 10 o'clock service, so I believe we will, and there'll be some kind of a little get-together afterwards, but I think, yeah, so I'm thinking we'll probably hit hometown.
Okay, well, this is a special day. I don't want to be an interloper in the activities, but if that's not an issue, just send me a text. Also had a text from Mr. McGrath. He is rolling tape this morning, so we can all listen to ourselves on YouTube and pat ourselves on the back this morning.
Okay, no, you're invited, Mike. Just make sure you bring a 16.5. And preferably not the one that Cockeyed Betty made at the Central plant with the crooked insert into the valve.
Well, yeah, I've got to do some inventory checking here. So I am on that, but we'll take a look, and I will bring this QC victim or lack of quality control. Well, it's a U.S. Navy too, but that's an RCA. I've got it. We'll bring that as an example of what I can offer up, but it's quite obvious it has issues, and that was from the factory. Probably maybe a Friday afternoon after a session at the beer hall, possibly down the street from the tube plant. But okay, well, just let me know, and congratulations on your good work with the niece. You're a patient man, W7MF.
Okay, good deal, Mike. Yeah. Dave Sarnoff, you had an employee that fell through the crack. Well, anyhow, back over to Dave, W6MQI. Yeah, on the 630 meter, I finally ordered one of those whisper transmitters. I think it's from Belgium. Zaptec seems to be the one that everybody uses. And it's got special mode for 630 meters that they use, more popular, I guess. But at 5 watts or 200 milliwatts into an antenna with 1% efficiency, that's kind of a waste. So I looked around, and there's a guy that sells PC board and schematic for 100 watt solids, actually up to 200 watt for 630 meter. But anyhow, so yeah, got DigiKey, Mouser orders, parts coming, and hopefully a PC board coming for that. One more project. W6MQI NU6F.
Right, NU6F, W6MQI. Okay. Yeah, I've been putting together some little HF amps. I'm going to try and parallel 2 of them through some splitters and combiners and see what I can get out of them. But I don't know if they would go to 630 meters or not. But yeah, I ended up getting I bought a nano VNA, so I can do some testing on the input and testing of the matching transformers and such, because I'm kind of shooting at the hip whether or not anything's right. So, but yeah, well, that's cool. And does your BC375 work on 160 meters? Do you have that plug-in?
Yeah, okay, Dave. Well, good deal on the amp. That's right. Remember, you were you were trying to find some decent use for the ICOM ubiquitous eBay amps that we see all over the place. And well, that's a possibility too. I'm pretty sure the core's probably not going to be any good down there. In fact, and good deal on the Nano VNA. I've had one for about 2 years, and you know, just spot checking stuff. But yeah, now with you know, part of it is getting used to the menus and the settings. I think the big thing I was missing was the scale setting, and now the Smith charts, everything all looks. It's telling me stuff now. So when I'm dinking around with the antenna and whatnot. And 160, yeah, I've got the 160 meter plug-in, but 160 meters is just useless here. I mean, it's horrible. I've got no signal possible that I can hear. I've got KOH station on the other side of the lake from me, and then there's a Mexican station up on the hill between Mike and I. And between those two, I mean, there's just inner mods. I've tried putting broadcast band filters in and stuff, and just almost no luck. In fact, using the Nano VNA on my antenna, I usually have to go ahead and put that broadcast band trap I have, put that in ahead of it, because it just drives it, get all kinds of weird results. So that's the 160, and so I was amazed, you know, other than before I'd listened on the DBs a couple years ago, and okay, that's kind of cool, but I didn't really have, I was still going through the balance and all that on the long wire. I wasn't feeding it with a loading coil and all the stuff that comes with the normal setup. So yeah, I was pretty amazed at how quiet it is here. Way better than 160. So yeah, so I was kind of said, gee, what a shame. Here's a band and I can't do anything with it. So, but anyhow, we'll see. Like I say, I think it's my counterpoise / grounding, man. I've got, you know, just no real estate to do it. So I'm going to have to be sneaky. But we'll see. And yeah, but yeah, I bet you one of those cheap amps, and yeah, find some core material. It's like a number 43 mix or 77. I just got some 77 mix toroids. I'm winding another transformer for the base of the 630 meter, and it looks good on the Nano VNA. And yeah, I'm curious to see if it makes a difference. W6NQI and U6F.
And U6F. Right. All righty. Well.